Hello friends, it's another day of Vlogmas and I am here in the terrible lighting because I love my tree. Trying to figure out, so this little thing hanging down here is a gingerbread. Is that a stocking? Yes, a stocking that my best friend's kiddo made when she was just a wee little. She's not a wee little anymore. But so many of the ornaments on our trees, on our tree, tell stories. Maybe that's a video I'll do. I typically do on Instagram every year, a little tour of the meaningful ornaments on my tree. Maybe that'll be a Vlogmas in a few days. Anyway, this is why I don't record in front of the tree, because I get distracted because I love Christmas. I also get distracted because I've got a Miss Mersh, little kitty cat, Herschel girl, meandering at my feet. But what I wanted to talk about today was my year in tarot. And this was a big year for me. 2022 was the year that I decided that that tarot was something that I didn't want to keep to myself. I had been talking about teaching tarot for probably a year or so before that. A little about me. I do have a day job, but I think this ended up being, I think I figured this was the 10th year, 2021, the end of 2021, actually. 2021 was the 10th year that I had filed taxes as an entrepreneur of some sort. And that has taken a lot of different, I've worn a lot of different hats. I started off as a running coach, went to doing some life coaching, went to teaching yoga. I did a lot of Reiki in 2020 and 2021, which is really something I want to get back to. So you'll see that. I promise you I'm getting somewhere. But like 2020, 2021 was when I got serious about tarot. I've been reading, I think I figured since 2016. I've been reading for myself in a very small sphere, which then I widened as I got more comfortable. And then I started thinking maybe this is something that I can share, something that I can teach. And part of that, honestly, is because you can't get up here with a computer. Part of that was I know that you can't get up here. There's not room. You're going to try anyway, aren't you, Herschel? No. Sorry, I have to put up barriers so the cat can't jump on the computer and then knock you over. I know that I enjoy the way that I deepen my own understanding when I teach something. So I decided to teach what I called Inner Wands Tarot School. We started, when did we start? Did we start in January? I'm looking at, so my journal is dated January 5th of 2022. So I'm assuming that I probably opened the doors in January. We probably started in February. And this is my teaching research for the first round of Inner Wands Tarot School. We did a card a day for 11 weeks. We met live every other week. Ended up meeting live every week. Built a really nice community. Meant a lot to me, but it was also a lot of energy, a lot of effort. Recognizing both from myself that focused 78 days with 5 to 6 other instructional videos, and then the group meetings. It was a lot while, working. But and that made me aware too that it was a lot to study. It wasn't just a lot to lead, it was also a lot to study. So even though I love Inner Wands Tarot School, I think there's a better way. But before that, I also didn't exactly learn my lesson the first time. And in August, I taught a second round of Inner Wands Tarot School. And this is my decomposition notebook with all of my notes, both as a teacher and a participant, because I feel like that's important. With the first round, I use the Dream Vision Tarot. Is that the one that looks kind of like Rocket Man futuristic? And then the second round, I use the Terra Volatile. Those are my two study decks that I studied along with my students. Yeah, and that has really shaped how I think I'm going to teach the next round of Tarot School, which will start January 2nd. It doesn't have a name yet. We'll do 2 cards a week, leading us up through October, I guess. Then we'll take a little break and then do a card a day and end up at the end of the year. So it'll actually be 2 full revolutions through the deck. One more extended, and then a second series through to like tie everything together and answer any lingering questions. So I plan on having that up for sale within the next week or so. I just got to name it. Like, I have the sales page written. I just need to name it. So my plan is actually, when we're done, to set that intention, take a shower, see if it shows up. Showers are like really good like mind times for me, brainstorm times. So like, I'm gonna start setting an intention every shower until I get the name, which may mean multiple showers a day if that's what it takes, but it is what it is. So I led 2 rounds of Tarot School, which I have a hard time. I have a really hard time acknowledging my accomplishments. I have a hard time recognizing that I'm smart and insightful, and that I have a voice that helps people find their own answers instead of listen to mine. But that's the truth. That's the truth. My process of both Inner Wands Tarot School and whatever I'm calling the next generation of that is finding your own voice in the tarot and finding the tarot's voice in you. It's not about fitting into a box. It's about making a connection with the deck, but neither here nor there. Neither here nor there. The other big thing I did this year was I published a deck. And I show you the deck all the time. I show you the deck a lot. So I won't belabor this point, because I think it's in like every video, any sort of deck video I make. The Narrative Alchemy Tarot was in there. I don't know when, if I'm doing another reprint. I've given each tarot card a keyword and a chakra that matches. I love this deck. Oh, and Messy is my favorite. It's my favorite card in that deck. Messy and Abandoned, and I saw Abandoned was in there too. But bigger than the deck itself to me is the guidebook. If you have the deck comes with the PDF version, but the printed version is available on Lulu. And I have I have my intro and spreads and honoring my teachers, how to use it as an oracle deck, as a tarot deck, as a chakra deck, as a Reiki deck. But what means so much to me is I tell you what the cards mean to me, and encouraging a very soul-led conversation, interaction with the cards. I recognize that some of my interpretations are not standard. When I was writing the guidebook, when I was writing the deck, the key word that came to me with like shocking certainty was origin for the high priestess. And there was just this very clear, very demanding voice that said, the purpose of the high priestess is to help you get in touch with who you were before the world told you who to be. I don't know if that's something I read somewhere, something I heard somewhere, but it was very clear to me that whatever else the high priestess means, what it means in this deck, what it means when it comes up here is, no, really, who are you? And there are a couple of cards that like go that are kind of tangents. There are a few cards that I go the shadow the I go more shadow. There are some cards that are typically more shadow that I go more encouraging with, and that's all intuition. When I say that I sat down and wrote this, and it's unedited for the most part. So I'm sure there are spelling errors. I'm sure there are grammatical errors, but how amazing it was to me that like what I had to say for every card fits almost to the bottom line on every page was just very, this was a very, I didn't realize I had so much crap stuck in here, but this was very intuitive. And it goes beyond just having this in existence that I can feel and I can touch, which is weird, but also the fact that I trusted myself to this point. I got out of my own way, and I wrote a book, right? I mean, it's a guidebook. It's close to 100 pages of basically handwritten journaling. I wrote a book. I taught tarot school. I taught tarot school twice. I made a deck and I wrote a book. The only thing that was on my agenda at the end of the year, this time last year, was seriously think about doing tarot school. And this is where I am a year later. So, part of me wants to set all of these goals for 2023. I definitely want to do Reiki 1 again. I want to teach that again. My heat just kicked on. I hope that's not, it's loud. I hope you can't hear it. I definitely want to teach Reiki 1 again. I'm teaching something with voice, I think. Cups and voice, maybe. Anyway, I'll teach this new iteration of tarot school. And other than that, I'm letting 2023 show up for me. So that is my 2022 in tarot. I'm not going to talk about decks that I purchased, decks that I studied. One, because all of that is here on my channel, and two, that feels much more frivolous than what I did. There are years that are for learning. There are years that are for asking, and there are years that give answers, right? And I felt like this was a year that gave answers. Herschel did so good until right now. I guess that means it's time to go. So thank you for hanging out with me for this, whatever day of Vlogmas this is. I'm not even counting. And for listening to my 2022 in tarot. And I will see you all here tomorrow. Have a good day.